one of the most important things that we have is or that we underutilize is actually the three-way calling. And I think that if we use that part, and then of course your edification is critical to making that work. And if we think of that like as in baking a cake, if you don't have the ingredients right, it will never taste like a cake. And then it's also the order. So edification is very, very big. So again, as you can see with the slide, it starts with you. And then one of the biggest things that you can start up with is the trust with the person. So usually the person would trust yourself, and that would be your prospect. But sometimes I know they say, well, that person knows you as a brother, a sister, a cousin, a neighbor, or a best friend, but they don't know the person that you are bringing on as an expert. So for your prospects, the trust actually comes on your side first, and then of course then you get it over to the expert, and that would be your three-way person or your three-way expert to show that the business is actually a real business, or you're bringing somebody in as an associate. You can always edify. It doesn't matter how big or how much the person has been in the business. I mean, you could even edify a senior associate. You can say, this person, the person that I'm going to introduce you to, actually they make right around $100 every time somebody says yes, because it's a senior associate, and they actually level up qualified. And you don't have to let them know that happened with 3 memberships or any of that stuff and 1 associate, because they don't really need to know that. And you can actually edify pretty much anybody in your team. So if you'll go right back to that slide that you just turned to, the next slide, and that'll tell you exactly kind of how the process works. If you could switch to the next one. There we go. Okay. So the associate introduces again, and what we can do is we can do the expert by the last name. So my background is teacher, and one of the things when I first got started as a teacher is I was, way back once upon a long, long time ago, as the story goes, I was pretty young, and back then, we really didn't get too much edification on that side, because everybody was thinking in the classroom, like, who is this guy? This guy looks like he's around our age, believe it or not. And so I would make sure that the students would all call me Mr. Archuleta. Then of course they found out what my real name was, but it took them a while to figure that out, my first name. But the edification is that easy. So when you're letting somebody know that you would want them to be edified, you always want to call the person by Mr. or Mrs., just because it gives that little extra oomph of edification. Then again, about 5 to 10 minutes on rapport. And then what have you liked best about what you saw or what you heard with the legal shield and identity shield. And then again, edifying the associate that you're introducing as a prospect. And there was a little short skit that I think it was Darnell Self and Michael Humes, and I'm not sure, maybe even Brank or others did that there was no edification. So they kind of like showed you what not to do. And it was like not edifying the person at all, and just kind of, hey, what's up? This is my homie and stuff like that. So the edification is really, really big. And there's a lot of really big reasons for that. You want people to know that we have a real business, and that there's more people involved than just you. And so whether they're saying it or not, they may be like in their mind saying, is this a scam, or is this some kind of a pyramid, and all that stuff is going through their mind, because a lot of times they don't really know what a pyramid is. But if you do that edification, it's going to help curb a lot of those questions and doubts that they may or may not let you know. Sometimes, they'll turn around and say and ask you flat out. I don't know if anybody on this call has ever heard somebody say, is this a pyramid, or is this one of those things? And if they do tell you, then you can address it. But what if they don't tell you? You know, what if they're thinking it, but they don't tell you? And this is where this edification will kick in. And then you can ask them stuff like, how much income and time would you like to dedicate to this? And then if we can help you create that kind of income that you desire in the time frame you've suggested, is that something, is that anything else that is there anything else that you would need to know before you get started? And so these are all, that's a very, very good closing question, but a very, very good skeleton where you can kind of put together the meat and the ligaments and kind of move forward with this sort of approach. But edification is huge. And then let's see. And so this is actually a really, really good really good way in order to edify what it is that I mean, the opportunity that we have with Legal Shield, so you can kind of let people know that this is a real business, and you can recruit a lot of people. When I first got started with the Legal Shield program, that's all I did was just edify. And it was kind of difficult for me when I first got started, because remember, the person that brought me on board, for those of you that know me, was my student. So my student, it was real difficult for me to edify him, but I still was able to do that because he was in my class and much younger than myself. And I, used to take his cell phone away when he got into trouble. But he did really well with that, because it was really easy to say, well, you know what, my teacher's doing this. So if my teacher's doing this, this is legitimate and stuff like that. So anyhow, really, really good, really, really good training. Now, do we have another slide behind this one before we do possibly a practice run?
Paul, I think you and Tony were going to do a demo.
Oh, I didn't see him on there. Let me see. Is Tony on
Tony's.
Oh, there he is. I see him now. Sorry.
So I'm going to flip back to this slide so you can,
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we're gonna practice a three-way call. And so just real quick clarification, are we calling you Miss Karen? Is that who we're gonna be?
That's okay, but I have a little bit of noise in the background. So maybe
okay.
Lisa Dixon could be the prospect.
Okay,
Lisa,
so you want Kimberly to be our prospect? All right. Lisa Dixon, you want to be our prospect? And then
I'm ready, gentlemen.
Mr. Petrell will be our expert, of course, if that would work. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Mr. Petrell? All right, cool. So in this side, one more thing that I would add is I would probably have shot a text to Mr. Petrell just to know that he's available. So that's where you get a good solid workout partner, where you know that the workout partner is available. Mr. Petrell shoots back a text, yeah, I'm ready when you are. And so he's kind of ready on that side. And that way, when I'm calling Mr. Petrell, it's with Kimberly already on the line. So I've just, built a rapport with, I already know who Kimberly is. Let's just say I know you from, I don't know, from teaching, or I know you from the gym or something like that. And so we're going to be looking at an opportunity. So right before that, of course, our friendship is already built up. And then I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be able to get Mr. Petrell on. And Mr. Petrell is definitely an expert, and he knows all the facts. He knows all the figures, and he's definitely going to be able to answer any questions that you might have. I want to take that off of me and put it on my expert. So my expert does the rest, he's going to do the heavy lifting for me. So if it's all right, Miss Lisa, I'd like to get my expert on the line, Mr. Petrell, who definitely knows all the facts. He definitely has some fun, and he's gonna be able to answer all of those questions that you have about the money with our opportunity. Is that okay?
Well, that's perfectly okay.
All right, awesome. So let me see if I can get him on the phone. He's a busy man, but I'll see if I can get him on. So I'm gonna go ring, ring, ring.
Hello,
Mr. Petrell. How are you? It's Paul Archuleta. How's it going?
very good.
I appreciate you giving me a second here, and I just want to let you know before we continue that I do have a person that is interested in the opportunity on the line with us, and her name is Lisa Dixon. And I just wanted to introduce you where you could explain to her a little bit about our opportunity, and she did have a few questions for you. So without any further ado, I'd like to connect you two. So Lisa, you're talking to Mr. Patrol. Mr. Patrol, you're talking to Lisa.
Okay, Paul, are you supposed to edify me or not?
I already did prior to, but would you like me? So I could do that when Mr. Patrol's on the phone with us, or I could do it before. Which in this particular scenario, I did it prior, but I could say so. Mr. Patrol, as I mentioned, Lisa, he definitely knows all of the facts, and he's going to be able to answer. He's marketed literally thousands of memberships, and he's a millionaire club member. And even what we in our industry call a platinum, which is basically the tip of the sword when it comes to Legal Shield. And he is an expert, and he's going to answer any of those questions that you might have about this opportunity. And I know you're asking me some questions, but I'm definitely not the expert at this point. So I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Patrell. So Mr. Patrell, I don't know if you've got a second to introduce yourself to Lisa, and we appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Mr. Patrol, very nice to talk to you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. So where are you out of? Where are you located?
I live in Fairfield, California.
Okay, great. And is that Northern California?
That's Northern California. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. How far are you from like San Francisco?
I'm about an hour drive from San Francisco and about
Okay.
45 minutes from Sacramento.
Yeah, I lived down in the suburbs of LA before.
Okay.
And that's a pretty warm place, but I don't think a lot of people in the country know how cold it gets in Northern California.
Yeah, it does get cold in Northern California.
And it does get, my brother lived in Monterey, California for many
Really,
years.
Monterey? My sister lives in Marina.
How far is Monterey from where you are in Carmel, that whole area?
Okay, from where I live now to Monterey, it's about a 3-hour drive when I visit my sister.
Great. And how long have you been in Northern California?
Oh my goodness. I lived in Northern California, San Francisco, where I was born, and then just stayed in the area in the
Okay.
San Mateo County. So that many years.
Good deal. Me, myself, I lived in Michigan most of my life, and then I jumped to Florida, Texas, and now I'm in North Carolina. I'm married, been married for 25 years. I've been with Legal Shield 25 years.
Wow.
And I have
25 years.
two kids. How about you, any?
Yeah,
how about family?
Yes, I've been a widow for 30 years, and I have a son, 31 years old,
All right,
and
great.
2 grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what was your background before, or what is your background now? What do you currently do?
Yeah, what I currently do, I have a full-time job as a field office manager for a construction firm.
Okay, great. And did you see the video that Mr. Archuleta sent you?
Yes, I've seen a couple of videos.
Okay, great. And what did you like best about the videos?
Oh my goodness, the
Hey,
services actually, because when it comes to the will, when I first saw the video, it was the will that I wanted to get. So definitely that caught my eye.
Yeah. So think about that. The American Bar Association says that about 75%, I think it's more like 90% of the population does not have their will. So think about the people who live across from you, behind you, next to you, above you, below you, whatever the housing situation is where you are. But just think about the people in your neighborhood and how many of them probably have talked about getting their will, but they have done nothing to do that.
Okay,
Right. So when we market a service that literally blesses people, and if you like helping people, I can. We're on a Zoom right now, so I can tell by your smile you're just a sweetheart. So I mean, you're one of those people that it looks like you're very, very nice, very approachable, and obviously got an opportunity for you to help people. So if you like to help people, it's amazing what you can do with Legal Shield.
Yes, I
So
do
then-
like to help people.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I have no idea what's going on, not interested to take another look, versus 10, which is I liked what I've seen so far. I want to take the next step and get more information and talk about a game plan for me with Legal Shield as a business. Where do you fall between 1 and 10?
Oh my, between 1 and 10, I would say about a 10.
Wow. Okay. Well, I just want to be the first one to say welcome to the team.
Yes, but Mr. Petrov, a question. So I do have my full-time job. How can I fit this business in my full-time 40-hour plus a week?
Yeah. Well, the vast majority of Legal Shield associates work Legal Shield very, very spare time, part-time, around their current schedules. So think about, and if I could think of just 3 things that we do in Legal Shield, we do so many things, but there's three things we do. One, we provide a legal plan for people. We have an identity theft plan called ID Shield, and we have a business opportunity that pays residual income, right? And there's three things I know for sure. One, attorneys are here to stay. We're not going to go back to the 1700s where you shake hands and your word is your bond. Attorneys are here to stay. Fine print is here to stay. Two, identity thieves are here to stay. There's no way we're getting rid of identity thieves. And number three, people will always want to make more money. And we happen to have what I believe is greatest answer to those three things, being with the company 25 years and the company being around for 50 years. So the next step, was for us to put together a game plan for you with your spare time. If you tell me you've got 2 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours per week to put into Legal Shield, we want to put it in to the game plan for you, make you about $500 in your first 30 days and get you in profit mode and get you really rocking with some cash bonuses and other things they have on the table. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you and Mr. Archuleta square things away with his website. He'll be on with you while you go to the website. Make sure that you get your e-service set up. Make sure that you put a list of people together and go through the first step fast start training with Mr. Archuleta. And really, you can start marketing memberships now, blessing people now, and making money now. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited. Thank you, Mr. Petrell.
And let me tell you, you're blessed to be working with Mr. Archuleta. He's one of our top associates, not just in the area, but in the country. So he's working with associates in all 50 states. It's amazing the reach he's had to bless people with his training and his expertise, and you get to reap the benefit of that. You may be in business for yourself, for your profit, for your household, but you're not in business by yourself because Mr. Archuleta is with you there. You're blessed to have that.
Yes, thank you.
And after what he told me about you and what I've seen and what we've talked about, I can't wait to see your name in lights. I just can't wait.
I can't wait either.
All right. Well, Mr. Archuleta, I'll turn it back to you, sir. Thanks for getting us connected here.
Thank you, Mr. Petrell. I appreciate you. And
Yes, sir.
thank you very much. Have yourself a blessed day, sir. Thank you. And then click. And then I'm going to get back in contact with Lisa. A few things that I caught on my own that I kind of it slipped up. The first thing is, of course, the edification should have happened when I contacted, and then I should have let Mr. Petrell know what her background was. So that part I didn't get over. So that I totally messed that one up.
And it's good to know what they've. So I would ask you, if you called me and I'm the expert, I would say, what has she seen so far?
Mhm.
And what's the next step? What's your
Right.
goal? What's the goal of this call? And if your goal is to get her to a live event because there's a big Super Saturday with Darnell Self or Teresa Johnson is speaking this weekend, or she's doing a virtual, then that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to direct them to what the goal is. So what's
Right.
their background? Why you think they're would be good for Legal Shield, what they've seen, and then what's the goal of this call, right? Building rapport is the easy part.
Right.
The marching orders we need to have are, as the experts, is what's the next step you want us to take it to. Teresa Johnson, would you like to give some input on things? We always want to continue to take notes and get more and more nuggets on how to do three-way phoning and things like that.
Oh, I thought you all did a great job, and as Mr. Archuleta said, that he had already, because most times I'll go ahead and edify the speaker before I get them on the line, because sometimes that can just make the speaker feel a little uncomfortable. But I typically do it before, but either before or while the speaker is on, it's whatever is your preference, it's good enough. My thing is that sometimes people get caught off guard in terms of how to address their expert. And so I always will say, Mr. Petrell, and I'll refer to the associate, Mr. Archuleta, and then I'll refer to the potential prospect, by their first name. Now, I've done some three-way calls with Mr. Hoffman, and that's the way I'll do it. But then he'll say, call me John.
Mhm.
I let that be his decision, not mine, because I don't want to de-edify.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I wanted to share. And then I have seen some people do the three-way, Mr. Petrell. Once the expert has closed them and they've, it's done, they're still on the phone, not talking about let's get the paperwork done, but they're answering questions and doing everything except getting the paperwork done. Your thoughts, sir?
No, that's just exactly why I said Paul's going to be online on the phone with you while you go to his website now to become an associate. And then you're going to do your first step, fast start, make a list. I kind of drop those in there so Paul can say, hey, as he said, it's time to go online. Let's take advantage of the discounted rate right now. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll say that too as the expert. But I guess Paul, I'll turn it back to you. Or Teresa, continue to make your comments, and then Paul, we're going to go back to you.
The
That
one
was
thing
it.
I
Go ahead,
noticed
Paul.
was oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What we're gonna do, well, go ahead, Paul, and eventually we're gonna go out to Erlen Lewis
Oh,
for
okay.
some announcements.
I was
But
gonna
go ahead,
say,
Paul.
as an expert, I don't know if and that was really good when the expert, he mentioned three things. So he said the three things was the legal challenges. He said identity theft, and then he said lack of making money. So he kind of hit all three as an expert, and then he let her respond as to what was going to be her interest. So I thought that was really good as an expert to kind of hit the three with your legal identity and making more money and willing to share that. So that was really good.
Every three-way call is different. Every three-way call is different, right, Paul? But as long as we can give one of the big things I think is giving compliment. Like I think it's important for Paul in this situation to compliment Lisa.
Right.
And let me hear the compliment. And if you told me a little bit about it, then you can just do a quick recap. So you might have told me 60 seconds worth of information about Lisa, but when we're on the line, you may say, as I told you before, Lisa's, has a full-time job, but she's an entrepreneur at heart. She's looking to create an additional income stream. I think she's going to be great in Legal Shield because she just seems to love to help people. Boom. So there's the compliment. It's a sincere compliment. I can run with that. Right. And I might have already heard it, but now she heard it. Right. And so then Paul compliments me, and he might have said 5 different things or accomplishments that I've done, or he may just say 1 or 2, but on the phone, he might just say he's one of our top associates, or he's a Millionaire Club member, or he's hit the platinum level before. That's all, as far as I'm concerned, if you are have any kind of intelligence and business acumen, when someone says Millionaire Club or platinum, that kind of means something. You know what I mean? If someone says, hey, we're with this insurance agency and they have hit the platinum level before, I would be like, that's better than bronze. You know what I mean? It's better than a lot of the other metals. So, what's titanium next? I mean, I might not know it, but at least you've put it in context to say that it's platinum level, or the Millionaire Club, or he's one of our top associates, or they're in the Performance Club getting car bonus every month. So whatever it is that they have, the expert doesn't have to be a ring earner or a Millionaire Club member. They could be one of our top associates. Right. Loves helping people, and it's helped. As I said, I complimented Paul. So it's a ring of compliments. And as long as you know the goal, what they've seen, what their background is a little bit, or maybe I don't know the background, maybe you cover that as you hand off the call, to me, and kind of go from there. But at least we have a track to run on.
Awesome.
That's excellent.
And you can learn off of all of those. So best way to do it is to get it done and get yourself a lot of workout partners, so you have different backgrounds as well. So
yes,
thank you, Karen, and back to you. Good stuff.
Yes. And just so you know, we have an insurance broker division, employee benefit division, small business division, ladies of justice, Legal Shield and Espanol, and commercial driver division. So I'm going to go out to Mr. Erlen Lewis to give us some announcements.
Oh, good evening. Good evening. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, a couple of announcements. Let's see, this month, just remember, we got less than 10 days left, so let's make a will month. So send those resources out about, getting folks updated on their wills. There's a big statistic that says that only less than 50% of our members have their will prepared. So reach out to your current members, remind them how to get their will prepared and so forth. And that's helped me quite a bit this month. to help a lot of folks, come on board with us with our services. And then on top of that too, I invested $249 to get, my business going 9 years ago. Tonight, $49, and that's only for another 10 days. But don't wait 10 days, start tonight. Get your book of business. We got tons and tons of training going on. And so, $49 to get your business going. I mean, when I invested $249, I was super excited, but I had to wait 2 weeks before I could do anything because I was waiting for my little box to come in the mail. But you can start tonight and start helping more families out there with our services. And then just remember, less than 10 days to get your performance club into. So that's the lifeblood of your business. So get out there, help more families out with our services. So on that, just everything else. Have a great evening, and back to you there, Miss Karen.
Well, thank you so much, Erland. And if anybody has anything else to contribute, just let us know. And otherwise, we'll be back next Monday at the
I'll do
same
it.
time.
I'll say something.
Thank you.
I'll say something. So I'm looking at Oz, I'm looking at Rayette, I'm looking at Lamel, Robinson, Robert Bagley, right? Annette, Patty, Calvin, Charles, AJ, Annette, Lisa, Hank, Ganine, Bob, Teresa, JC, right? Zoom user, Gwyneth, everyone that's out there. And, it just comes down to, again, where the training doesn't matter if you don't do it. So I'm going to challenge you that you do one three-way call this week. One three-way call this week. That's it. One. So, I just trained in Salt Lake City, and I had them write down how many people last week did you invite to look at Legal Shield, and write the number down. You're going to cross it out, write it down. And so put down 0 if your number was 0, put down 1 if it was 1. Now cross it out. And they cross it out. And I go, okay, it's a new week. How many will you invite to take a look at Legal Shield? I don't care if they go or not. I don't know if they're going to look at it or not. But you got to invite people. That's your job. Is you're a professional inviter, right? So you need to invite people to take a look. So my question to you now is, how many people this week will be your goal to invite to look at Legal Shield? And if you had 0 down, how about going crazy and try 1? Let's invite 1 person, or just have all your neighbors buy it from me. It doesn't matter to me. But I would invite 1 person to take a look at Legal Shield and then do 1 three-way phone call to follow up. So if I'm sending someone to watch a 2-minute or 4-minute video, I'll probably say, hey, when I called to check on you to see what you thought, I might have my business partner on the line with me. I'm already getting them ready for a 3-way call. And then I challenge you, and next week, Karen, before we get the call rolling in the time to next week, I'd like to be able to hear who did that 1 3-way call.
That's perfect.
This week.
Thank you, Tony.
Take that challenge, either run with it or don't. Right? Okay, we'll talk more later.
Put in the chat, if you accept the challenge, put in the chat that you're going to do it. Okay.
Do you accept the challenge? And if you don't, it doesn't matter to me. It matters, but it ain't gonna stop me from having success, right? We've got a whole bunch of people out there in Legal Shield doing nothing, and that's cool in the gang. Welcome to the family, and we love you. But why not do 1 3-way call this week and see what happens?
Right on.
Have fun.
Well
Have
said,
fun.
Tony.
Have fun.
Okay, with that, we're going to sign off. Remember, you've got 10 days at the major discount. So let's go for it. Find the people that really believe in what we're doing. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys.
Good night.
Have a good night.
You.
Have a good night.
Bye, Janine.
Bye, Karen. Bye, everybody.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.